Hello!
Hello!
And welcome to Cliffhangers. We are Truffle Pig Wigs and we are your friendly neighbourhood lovers of all things drag with the unofficial, unrequested and unhinged Drag Race podcast.
In our debut series, we will be screaming over season 2 of Drag Race UK with you. So let's bloody get on with it.
Okay.
Introducing my co-host, the toad in my hole, is Barney.
And your daily reminder that power bottoms are indeed God's favourite. It's Luki. So just a mighty quick disclaimer about Cliffhangers. We are absolute super fans of drag in all its forms, and we are here to uplift queer art. So taking a leaf out of our babies, the Boulay Brothers book, nobody gets to critique what your fantasy is.
Our number one rule here is that the only people getting laughed at should be us. Anyone doing drag is already a star, and nothing we say is going to change or discredit that.
Okay, let's get starting then. I obviously don't need to say this a million times, but anything that is remotely patriotic makes me feel very uncomfortable. Anything. But judging by how fantastic this season is, every single time it opens, I'm like, rule Britannia. This is the only thing we have proud.
We've got to get you a Union Jack Jerry dress, haven't we?
Truly. This, the only thing that I could possibly imagine ever being proud of Britain for.
Pretty much,
Because it is sensational. And literally all of the American queens as well. Everyone is just going absolutely mental for how great it is.
Well, good, because I feel like a lot of them were kind of disregarding us from
Coming
the
for
last
the first
season. Yeah.
Well, it's because British drag is just so different. I just think they were scared of what they didn't know, weren't they? But now look at it. You're obsessed, aren't you? Can't get enough.
Why are you so obsessed with us?
Ain't ever gonna get this candy.
So it's after the lip sync, and the gals have all come back in to see Cherry's message on the mirror, all about just loving yourself.
One thing I absolutely love is they give whoever has to wipe off the message, they give them the tiniest one-ply tissue, and it makes it so dramatic because they have to scrub so hard.
And fucking like lipstick is waxy as hell. Like that's going to be really irritating to get off with anything, let alone a little Barbie cleaner.
Truly. We'll get into the emotional roller coaster and you can track our journey with Tia Coffee. But I'm not going to lie, she hasn't been in my top faves. But when she was like, Tia was, when she said that Joe was competition and that Cherry was here, I thought, wait, hold a minute. Cherry, the visionary, the conceptual artist, at the forefront of the cultural zeitgeist, you're saying that she wasn't a competitor, and we have all actually been privy to the garbage that you have put on the runway every week. Like, okay, I was like, really not doing anything for me at all.
It's a known fact that jealousy is a disease, so we can just hope that TT gets well soon.
I'm bringing no grapes though.
XOXO.
Not visiting her. I really wasn't here for that.
Well, the girls are shook, literally quaking in their fucking stilettos.
Truly. But I mean, you would be, because the standard is so high. Like we were saying last week, like literally anyone that goes home is going to be someone's favourite. Everyone is a front runner here to someone. There's underdogs, but there's no real people that you're like, nah, boot them, apart from...
Well, the less said on that, the better, I believe, in our lovely non-biased podcast for you.
Exactly. I've got written down here, Ellie is so tall.
Taller than Tia.
Almost, but like they're almost the same height, and I can't believe it.
She must have hella upper body then, because like to be coming close to Tia and not have crazy long legs, like what's up with that torso, bro?
She is really, really tall though. It really, really blew my mind.
So it's a new day in the workroom, and all I could think was, beret, you stay. I counted maybe 5 or 6 berets. I couldn't get the full total tot up.
Which was your personal favourite?
Probably the tan leather.
Oh, very DFS. The lovely sort of...
the
pleather moment.
New Malden.
All I wrote down was all the berets. What is this? Fags Army. A lot of berets. They must have had a sort of a secret meeting before, a little stonecutters meeting, and decided that this was the week for headgear. For sure. I also would like to hit you with a little bit of secret intel. I absolutely had to hit up Ellie Diamond after last week's confusing and titivating situation with the elf ears. It was blowing our minds, wasn't it? Behind the scenes. And I had to ask her, please explain why this was never brought up and never mentioned. And would you believe it? Ellie said that they actually both brought elf ears, and just for a little workroom glam. And Ellie popped them on, and then Sister was like, oh, hold up, 1 second. I actually brought elf ears with me too. And then they just popped it on, and it was never mentioned again.
Both just for workroom.
Complete coincidence. Just for the glam.
And not even ever for a main...
No, Just bought them.
Well,
just for a little look.
There you go.
It's for that lovely Arwen fantasy. I believe.
Sure.
Absolutely very into it. Look at me, Lord of the Rings references. Okay, so for the mini challenge, we have introduced truly a mini challenge that was invented from the deep, dark recesses of the minds of Luki herself, because I've never met anyone that is so emotionally tied to limbo and so fantastic at it. I've actually been at festivals when there's been crowds of people cheering on Luki.
Thank you. Undisputed limbo queen of the world.
As she basically limbos between, like, underneath like 2 Pepsi cans. Honestly, the greatest person at limbo ever.
And also being from Carnival Country, Ladbroke Grove, West London, hold tight, inside the wife. I was freaking out at this, losing my mind.
It was truly a challenge for you.
My first thought was
Luki's Drag Race.
Firstly that, but secondly, like, it's limbo. Why are you wearing extravagant headpieces, you fucking
Can you believe?
donuts?
Just like adding another metre onto what is already an impossible task because they're already a metre high up on their heels.
Oh, God. Health and safety nightmare. My ankles are as delicate as a blade of grass in June. So
like a soft summer fruit.
Exactly. So I would have been dead. So congrats for no one breaking their ankle, really.
I absolutely love the quick drag challenges. Would you try and give a sort of like baby contour, maybe give like a whisper of a face, or would you just go full all out pig in a wig?
Oh yeah, pig in a wig. I'd be like sort of like round circles for blush, and kind of like Alyssa when she did the Farmyard Friends thing.
Yeah, absolutely. It's like I've got the runway to prove that I know my way around a face. Like, this is the time to show that I can look absolutely repulsive, and I will
appreciate the transformation. Thank you very much.
Yeah. I love seeing them. I particularly enjoyed Lawrence, who looks like
in that fucking
terrifying
green
Adore
wig.
Delano.
Yeah, there was like one bit where he kind of did almost like a boost kind of face. And it's like, like scared me there.
Cannot believe the piss take that is like just rolling on Jodie Harsh, who is a literal like shout out to Jodie first of all, who is like a bastion of UK drag. Is like the most famous UK drag queen that we have, has been in the public eye at the forefront of drag for like the past 10 years. And they just like wheel her out for one challenge and just like be like, oh, hi, Jodie Harsh is going to do some fake DJing. Like, put some respect on her name.
Yeah, I can't believe I didn't pick up on that, actually. Like, to get her all out there, dolled up, she's got the hair on, she's dressed to the right as per. Like, why not make her a judge?
What was the reason?
Yeah, she should 100% be a judge, like, of all people in the UK.
More than Jordan, no offence.
But do you remember that in the old, I'm sure I mentioned this the week before, but there was some mention of like Drag Race coming to the UK, and it was going to be Jodie Harsh and Jonathan Ross that were like pegged to it.
Oh.
I wonder who was doing the pegging. So the hair by Jodie Harsh, I believe that was always Charlie Lamindu, who is a literal hair artist.
Hardest.
Jodie Hartist.
Jodie Harsh is hardest.
But I saw on her Insta that was actually recreated by Wig Chapel. So shout out to Wig Chapel, who's now doing that iconic Jodie Harsh hair hat. That's absolutely fantastic. But yeah, I felt very salty that she was just sort of like ushered in as just a little guest appearance.
Thanks a lot, you idiot.
Very that.
Yeah, I just feel like she needs to be given her flowers, and they really didn't. But I feel that maybe RuPaul doesn't want, like, Jodie is so funny and so lovable that I feel like maybe she doesn't want that sunshine taken away from her. She doesn't want another queen in the spotlight.
Bold statement.
I know.
But
yeah.
I'm here for it, and I stand by it.
Yeah. Obsessed with the Sia wig on Bimini. That trying shit like a pyramid of Giza.
Do you remember my Sia wig?
Yes.
I had a lovely one from AliExpress that I left on a night bus.
Maybe it's the same one.
Well, yeah, it was a bus to Hackney.
Bimini, if you found that wig on the number 55 bus, can you please message us?
Top deck, probably covered in lipstick.
What about when Ginny Lemon just walked through the limbo?
Oh.
The teeny tiny pocket queen herself.
Well, yeah, she's a clever queen, not wearing giant heels to do limbo.
My absolute favourite thing about the whole limbo was, if you looked to, I need to find out what his name is. Georgie mentioned him on last week's, but one of the pit crew, who is the absolutely gorgeous one, he was just doing a lovely little gay dance the whole time, just giving you little sort of couple of rumba hips.
Oh, lovely.
And he really just looked so happy to be there. It was my absolute highlight. Why is limbo so funny?
It just is. I think it's because people are coming at you groin first, often in like a sort of shuffle, and then you get to see people's like bandy legs buckling and fall over.
Yeah, and there's really no loss from it. Either they fall over, which, hello, comedy, or they win and you're like, oh, and we've got another round. It is truly just, it's giving and giving and giving.
Congrats to Tia Coffee being 89% leg for managing to origami them underneath through that hole.
I know. But having seen you literally like shimmy through a letterbox like that, they didn't really get down low enough for me, if I'm honest.
Yeah, but I'm in trainers.
True.
And on mind and body enhancing drugs.
They did you also see when Taste was going through the last time and both of her heels just popped off? But that yellow and black wig on her, gorgeous.
Oh, I loved it, yeah.
Absolutely gorgeous. So then we were introduced to the main challenge, which was fashion frenemies. So you paired yourself up with whoever you thought the bestie was in the workroom, which is terrifying because you're gonna have to go against them, which they find out they do. And you were each given a box with an assigned colour, and you had to both produce a full outfit from that said box with the said colour. Would you shit yourself at a design challenge?
Yes. I think I would shit myself at every challenge. But from
it's like a permanent state of panic.
Yes, permanent feces.
Yeah.
But from watching season 13 today, which was the bag ball, so another design-ish challenge, I was thinking like, turn up with like at least like maybe like 3 or 4 sketches that you think like I could, whatever the design challenge may be, whether it's out of like weird materials or whatever, like you've just got your options. You've not got to like make up a cool outfit on the fly. Like,
yes, madness. I don't understand why they don't just come with patterns.
Yeah.
Just have a pattern for like a gown, a pattern for like a nice jacket shape that you like just like sort of like classic silhouettes for your drag character. You can obviously bring like paper patterns, like they're not going to stop you from doing that. Like, and then all you would need, your only skills would need to be just like sewing a basic line on a machine and cutting fabric. Congratulations, you can trace. Like,
yeah, like if you've got a chance to cheat even a little bit and it's allowed, then fucking go for it. It's just like anal, isn't it?
Why?
Well, if you fail to prepare to fail.
Oh, I believe that was an Aesop fable. No?
Disgusting!
So as winners of the Limbo competition, Tace and Veronica then get to dole out the boxes of fabric. What colour would you wanted?
Now, initially I was like, I'm always like, all I ever wear is black. And initially I was like, oh, I'd 100% want black. But actually seeing how it performed on stage for Ahura and Tace, I actually think it's kind of a bit whap. I feel like actually I'd really want blue. Because black is just sort of, you really lose a lot of the detail in the design, as you will see with Ahura. And I feel like picking a bright colour is just smarter.
Well, yeah, just it's more show-offy, like look at
more
me.
More showbiz.
Yeah. I would have gone pink. And I think Sister had the right idea, just like more. I would have gone very Barbara Cartland / Dolores Umbridge, just like
700 dogs.
Disgusting pinks on pinks.
Yeah, absolutely.
Did you see Tace's meaty tuck during the box ceremony?
I did not. But if
it took me eye out.
If anyone is going to notice a lovely meaty tuck, it's your girl. Very liked when Sister said, I think I'm going to do a performative sleeve. Not entirely sure what a performative sleeve is, but I know that I need 2 of them.
Makes it seem like it's not functional, like it's just kind of hovering.
It's really trying to hog the spotlight. I really like that a lot of these young queens know they know how to sew. Because like when Tia was like, you think there's going to be one of them, and you're like, why don't you know how to sew? That is her.
Again, like, prepare, bitch.
Truly, like, you know that is the one thing that people fail on most, apart from Snatch Game. Like, people come in, they're like, oh, do you know what? Even though a large portion of this is about design, I just couldn't be bothered to take the afternoon to learn how to thread a machine. You don't have to be good at sewing, but I don't know. A hot glue gun queen often doesn't succeed. Was very into the Lawrence versus Ellie bubbling under drama that they're like, she's like, but I'm a great seamstress too, so I'm going to try and go against her. And I just thought, that's cooking away. There's definitely going to be a loggerheads moment, I think.
Scottish beef.
Yeah.
Aberdeen Angus.
Exactly. So I'm very excited. Also liked when Lawrence, basically anything, Lawrence has the sort of Scottish version of Alyssa Edwards that basically anything they say is a soundbite. She was like, I'm not quite sucking willies yet. I was like, well, I mean, if that isn't a meme within 13 seconds of...
Is RuPaul suggesting you become a hooker and just give up this side hustle?
I guess so. But speaking of side hustles, Ellie Did you see her shout out from McDonald's saying, supporting the gals, supporting the troops? Love that she was like, I love that she couldn't mention there was McDonald's though. She was like, I worked at a drive-through.
A well-known fast food establishment. Have we talked about the fact that they are only getting paid £15 a gig in Scotland?
I cannot believe it. That is not even your Uber home.
That's nothing.
That's not paying for a pair of 301 top and bottom lashes.
It's crazy. It's like, congrats to them for like liking drag enough to still do it for that.
Ellie said, didn't she, that she was like, I had to get a whole, that's her perseverance in drag, that she was literally she had an entire other hustle just to pay for her drag because they don't pay for their performers in Scotland. And they're both exquisitely turned out. It's not even like they're budget queens, where they both look like a bit dusty. Like, they're both conceptual. They both look great. Like,
well, hopefully this will just like sort of shine a light on drag more in Scotland, and like more gigs will be available. But I'm assuming she must not be from a big city, because like through the mist of Vodka Rebels, I remember seeing a drag queen in Edinburgh. So like,
shout out to CC Blooms. Oh, if you're joining us from Edinburgh, you know CC Blooms. You've been there. You've been wasted on the dance floor. I believe she's from Dundee. I think. I feel like I read that somewhere. But
well, yeah, I cannot comment on the drag scene there, but there obviously needs to be more of it so that the
I
gals
hope it
can
gets
get paid
CC
more.
Bloomin', to be
honest.
Yeah.
Excuse me. There you go.
Oh, Attila the pun in the flesh. I love. It's truly pathetic. I love how much RuPaul digs for the gossip in the work room. Just like always, just like prodding at everyone, just trying to get the goss. Pack it up, Grandma. You're
It seems
75.
like a bit of a reach, though. Like, why is everyone like so into this like potential love story with a horror taste? Like, get over it. Men rot.
Have you never been around gay men before? It's like really giving you that horny virgin energy. They're like, I think they've been together. It's just like, what? Like, get over it. Like, I'm willing to bet that at least 2 of them have rutted like ox since they've been there. Come on.
I hope so.
Stuck in a hotel together. Come on, what else is there to do? I love as well that Bimini just talked to Rue like a friend. Like, he's clearly not scared of him in any way whatsoever. He doesn't like talk to him like, just chats to him like he's just there, just at a bar over a couple of snake bites.
Ginny's face when RuPaul kind of threw out the challenge to be sexy, you could just like see all of the neurons and stuff just like malfunctioning, like brain melting.
Now's the time. We need to get into the Ginny Lemon talk. As Monroe Bergdorf pointed out on Twitter this week, we must protect Ginny Lemon at all costs.
Sweet baby angel. To be so beloved by everyone who's seen you or knows you, and to have such a low opinion of yourself is just...
I literally, as this was happening, all I was doing was daydreaming about when I finally, after COVID, see her in London and I can go up to her and smell her hair and hug her and hold her. I was just literally like...
I hope you're going to ask if she wants any of this first, not just like throw it at her.
Just like literal like tears in my eyes, just been like, oh my God, I want to hug you so much. Like, I can't believe that there is so much fear and insecurity within someone that is like such a... I mean, obviously it's like it's so often the way, but just like she's such a bold performer and makes such bold choices. It's just so sad. When she was saying that like she was like her body repulses her, I thought that was kind of just like a Ginny Lemon sort of a bit that she was like, oh, I'm gross.
Yeah.
But then like when it sort of transpired that like she actually just has like such a low opinion of herself, I was like, and my heart is broken.
And just good old sister. Just she is that open arm that everyone can confide in.
I really, really love their 2 relationship. I think it's absolutely fantastic.
I wonder if Bimini has yellow hair for the same reason.
I saw that Ginny Lemon had written online that she was like, you don't have to have yellow hair to be a non-bine harvester, but it does help. I thought, yeah. That identity conversation. First of all, when she said that like she wears yellow because it's a healing color, I was like I mentioned last week, I was like ready to fully go on a defund the BBC rampage because I was so angry that they bypassed her Bimini's conversation about being her non-binary identity, and I was so annoyed that wasn't given a platform. And I thought, obviously, it's the BBC. They've like proven themselves to be very transphobic, and they put at the forefront that transgender rights are a debate. Which, if you're new here, that's not how we fucking roll. And I just thought what was so powerful about it, and I was honestly texting the group chat, being like, no, I'm in tears. I'm struggling to think of any other time on telly that I've seen 2 non-binary people speak about their identity with it not being like positioned as a debate. It was just 2 people speaking about their identity. And if you can think, I already saw that there was BBC articles about it and stuff. If you can think the power that would have, like it was, I was so emotional. Like,
especially to be like reality as well. Like it's not fiction. It's like these are two real people talking about their real lives.
It was like a representation of like actual like contemporary reality of gender identity. And I just thought that there are so many young people that are going to watch that are maybe don't even identify as non-binary yet, but they're like exactly how Ginny Lemon explained that they were like, that there is a community of people out there that feel that they operate and exist outside of the gender binary, and maybe that's me.
And I loved when Bimini said as well, like, it's not new, it's a new term. But it's like, because, so many like indigenous cultures have always sort of like recognized that there is
like multiple genders.
Like it's not black and white.
I was going to say, one thing I absolutely loved about it is not only was it this like incredibly progressive conversation with no weight as well. And
sometimes they're like heart to hearts feel very prompted. Like this was so natural.
Just the fact that Bimini kind of went over and was like, I heard you were discussing this, but also that they touched on like class as well. And that they spoke about, like, as a person growing up in like a working class background, that this was just not something. I just thought there was so many elements to that was going to like touch so many people. And I could honestly go on about this for the whole time. That was like a real moment, I thought. I can't believe it's on the BBC. I can't believe that it's on Drag Race as well, after everything that Drag Race has done to sort of exclude people that are gender non-conforming and trans people from the race itself. But so brilliant that they're having that conversation. We go from one positive to one negative. I need to speak about how boldly Estina stood up and said, "Let me show you the hair that I'm going to put on." And we will get into this later, but not that it has anything to do with the price, but a pack of £2 braiding hair is not hair. It is the ingredients for what might be hair later on.
I thought she was joking.
That Betty Spaghetti look that you threw on, just like, they are just strings of plastic.
So crazy.
Yeah, couldn't really believe. And she has a lot of bold opinions for someone who spent 30 seconds making a leotard.
Somebody lied to her several times.
The cheek, the nerve, the gall, the audacity and the gumption.
Where do you think Taste is from?
I don't know. Let me try and do it more Welsh. And the gumption. There we go. Audacity and the gumption.
The gumption.
So once Rue's spoken to everyone, she sneakily reveals that the ones who have not worn it best will be up for elimination. Yeah. My stomach actually flipped.
But this is what we live for. So before we head onto the runway, we're going to take a very short break and we'll be back with you in a couple of mins.
These aren't wigs for the glamorous. These aren't wigs for the stylish. These aren't wigs for the beautiful. No, these are wigs for pigs.
Dive into the crunchy world of synthetic wigs with bespoke custom wig styling by Truffle Pig Wigs. Because these aren't just any wigs. These are essential purchases.
TrufflePigWigs.co.uk.
COVID regulations do not deem wigs as essential purchases.
We are back and it's elimination day. So first things first, Estina seems to be done already, which, as we know, is the kiss of death.
Truly.
You're never done. You are sticking accoutrement on there until the end, if nothing else.
100%. If Tyra Sanchez has not taught you anything, you should be hot gluing lace to yourself 15 seconds before you enter that runway.
Obsessed with Ginny's first time in body, those hard, high tits. I nearly spat my drink out.
That meme as well of her lovely nipples hanging out the bottom of the tits in the corset, I just thought, oh, that's truly that needs to be on some merch straight away, doesn't it? But can you believe, like, never, first time in body? That seems wild. Okay, we are introduced to the main stage, and I've put, my first thing is Rue's dress is very quinceañera.
Oh, I loved how tacky it was.
Yeah, and she was really glowing as well. That raven face is truly so much like central light on it.
I think it's actually disgusting, the living conditions that RuPaul is forced to be in. Like breathing with that teeny tiny nose. Like, is that allowed? Is it even possible? What the hell?
Can you believe it? She's got a tiny Voldemort nose. It's like gasping for air. How did you feel about Michelle's little Latin dancer curls that she was giving you?
I did think that, but I'm not sure of her entire background. She may have an abuela out there.
That's why I went for rather than baby hairs. I was like, they are very like the drawn-on dancer curls that they give the little baby Latin dancers. That's what I thought. Rather than she's just continually going to be appropriating every single hairstyle possible. It's like next week, box braids. I loved to see Jordan Dunn. I know you're going to have something to say because I could feel it, but I just didn't want to say it out loud about her presence. Did you, yes or no, find everything that she said to be very basic?
I didn't really pay attention to it, so I think maybe you're projecting your thoughts onto me as per.
Oh, I was just a bit worried that you were going to come on and be like, because I love her so much, but it was very sort of like, yes, queen. Like, I think it was when she killed it for me when she was like, I was getting Beyonce. I was like, you are lost.
I just found myself constantly trying to sneak a look at her nipple between the little washing basket.
She is a mother. Yeah, I did put that Jean-Paul Gaultier made her look like a clothing drying rack.
Yeah, very IKEA.
IKEA. And what's funny as well is that like, because it's in just sort of like a taupe, actually, even though it's like obviously off the rump, it's a couture piece, like actually it looks quite like subdued next to the drag that both Michelle and Rue are serving.
Yeah.
I thought she looked kind of like plain.
Yeah. Where'd you get that from? Bloody, I was going to say millets. Maybe that's a bit far down. Jane Norman.
Isn't that the camping?
Yeah. I'm sure you could cook a couple of sausages up on that rack.
It's quite tent-like. So we are introduced to the stage and to our Fashion Frenemies looks. And first up to the stage was...
Taste.
RuPaul's Drag Taste. What did you think?
I thought she looked like a cool Beetle. I think someone else said that. It's very...
reminiscent of Mugler, of the Beetle outfits.
I mean, sure. I'm not going to start throwing out references that I'm not sure of.
Mugler did a show where they were all like very Ben de la Creme as the insect. That was like... That
was
much
actually, now you
more.
said that, I do remember that, like the sort of weird cyberpunk goggle eyes.
But to sort of attach it to the name of Mugler, I think is a bold claim. The close-up on it, like the construction was shoddy at best. I love that Aurora later in Untucked was like, don't you put my name in. Anyway.
But I thought clever of her to be like, if it's held together with safety pins, I'm going to make that seem like that is the look.
Absolutely. And the fact that her partner was going up against Aurora, like top trumps. Like I think she really pulled it out of the bag there. I gave her 7 truffles.
I gave her 8 truffles.
But scared to bring this up, the reuse of the wig. Thoughts? Yes.
Well, when she was in the workroom, I thought maybe she was just kind of making something similar out of the same material that she'd made the dress out of. I get why she did it, because as a diehard Animal Crossing player, I'm very aware of the stag beetle and their horns. But I just thought, I agree with Michelle. Like, you can't. Well, I mean, you can, but I wouldn't want to repeat such a statement wig at all, let alone 2 episodes later.
I am completely the opposite. I think that we have created, again, like I said, this world where like every single runway needs to have brand new wigs, brand new costumes. I thought she changed it up enough. I know obviously it's very soon, but they have no idea if that's the wig that you've planned to wear, given your scarab beetle glam, like they have no idea whether that's going to be like the final runway or it's going to be the first week. And I think that
because she made it.
Yeah, but for the design challenge, maybe she had thought maybe I'll go down the route of the beetle. Do you know what I mean? Like I do get what you mean, that maybe like, but
I just think like you could have worn any other. I'm sure you've got 50,000 black wigs back there.
Has she?
We know she's definitely got at least one more black wig behind her.
If she's rocking up with very expensive human hair, like maybe she hasn't got loads of wigs. Maybe like I don't know. I don't like. I would have maybe felt differently if she hadn't made any change to it, but because it was like she'd put loads of stuff in it and she'd changed the look of it, it was very sculpted and very high glam. And then she made it much more sort of editorial and punky. She had all the clips in it. She had hoops hanging from it. And I just thought it was completely different. And I don't like the idea that like once you've worn something, it's like unusable for the rest of the competition. And I do get that it was very soon after, but I would like to see the reuse of wigs and garments more.
I don't know. I get that in real life, but I think on a competition, when you're trying to wow people on the runway every week, like you want to show them something new every time. But yeah, 8 truffles there.
You went 8 truffles? Yeah.
Wow.
Okay, next up we have the fashion frenemy, Ahura.
I just saw Sharon Needles with the poodle.
That was my first thing I wrote.
It took me so long to work out what it was, like the memory.
Yeah, I was really shocked. I thought she was going to dog walk everyone. I thought it was going to be like, okay, Ahora's obviously just like literally smoked the entire competition. And I wasn't blown away.
I didn't like the kind of knickerbocker
the weird
situation.
legging situation.
But I think when you see it in pictures after on her Insta, like you can see
She's
the
got
outfit a lot better. Like you couldn't see any of the detail of like the massive sleeves or anything on the runway. Just a bit of a shame. I think, like you said, just all black on black on black. You're missing stuff.
You know that full body Gucci like skin that Rihanna was like photographed in Coachella. I wonder whether she was trying to like reference that, or I know she used to work at Gucci, so maybe it is that. I saw on Twitter that she was like, everyone's like calling me out for being some bougie bitch for wearing Gucci. She's like, I bought it for like 6% of the price. Snaps for that. See what I did there? Incorporating it into the arsenal.
Thank you.
Are
you incorporating up your ass?
I put the whole sort of like legging and heels look was very aging modern dancer at the local rec teaching 12-year-olds. Very sort of Billy Elliot dance teacher.
Yeah. She's 40. She's got a fag in the corner of her mouth.
Absolutely,
she's tapping.
Always. She's rocking. She's tapping. Yeah. So I just thought, if you're a designer, this is really. I've seen anyone that follows Ahura. You've seen she's making gowns. Like everything she makes has like gorgeous construction on it. And I just thought, this is your time to show off that you're a designer and you make a bodysuit.
Weird flex.
Yeah, I just didn't. But I did. I think the detail of how great that coat was. I thought it was very reminiscent of when Gaga was on Drag Race and what she wore. Do you remember she wore sort of like a bodysuit?
Big poofy arms.
But yeah, I just didn't. I didn't feel the fantasy on the runway. But I did when seeing it on Instagram later. I did think it was great. I love that she was like, "I'm a big ass puff." I was like, same.
Yeah, I thought it was like a whole thing together, but it wasn't really for me. I gave it 7.5 truffs.
I did give it 8. I did think like the construction of it was great. Like, she did make a full coat, and but yeah, it wasn't as wowing as I hoped it would be.
Next to the stage, Miss Jennifer Lemon.
Oh,
I wrote, so cute to see this different side, but 2.
I think the real star of the show was that arm placement, really, because I didn't really notice until she like took it away. I was like, oh dear God, that is just a lame bin bag.
Where is Gok Wan when you need him? Someone give that girl a waist cincher.
Truly. Just throw a lovely Claire's Accessories belt round it. Anything.
A rubber band.
Yeah. But what I did put is that this moment was much more important than the dress. Like this was a whole learning, teaching, coming out of your shell moment. And I don't give a fuck. She could have literally walked down stretched a condom over her head. And if this was a moment, she'd never worn body, she'd never felt sexy, and I just thought the moment when they were all just like, you actually look really gorgeous, and her makeup was like so pared down, she was barely wearing any eyeshadow, and I thought she did. I loved that she sort of she had a little nod to sort of a little Betty fringe.
But for a design challenge,
I mean,
that is
there was zero design. But what I will say is that she did, for her, who clearly doesn't make dresses, there was an attempt at a design. I know obviously it was not constructed well, and it was not...
I don't think you can say a tube is an attempt at design.
Listen...
I don't care what you've got to say. That's
Listen,
it.
glamour is a journey, not a destination.
That's fine.
She's at the beginning.
You can't tell me a tube is a design choice.
She is broke down on the side of the road. But yeah, I just shout out to the arm placement, really cinching in that waist. But I gave Ginny a 6.
You are... biased. I gave her a 2 for that design challenge.
How dare you? She had little wrists. She'd made little lame wristies. And it was nice to see her in a heel.
Is that a heel?
What is this? A heel for ants?
They were old maiden type
That's
of
like the
shoes.
second or third time we've had to use this soundbite on the Lemster.
Always for Ginney. Always for the Ginney pal. Next up, we had her arch nemesis. It was Sister. Now, you might as well call her a Casper mattress because they be sleeping on Sister. I'm furious.
I just love her so much.
I can't believe it's just every single thing that she presents to the runway, every single time that she flourishes, they just completely ignore her. It's really starting to grind my gears.
Calm down, you don't have to ruche.
Loved the detail of the ruche trouser. Loved the long sleeve detail when she put her arms out. Like it was such a smart design. And there
Can I tell you what I didn't like?
The face.
The navy belt. Loved the face.
Oh, good.
It's like, why are you throwing a navy belt on
Because she had the light blue face. I loved
but
the
go
colour
light
story of
blue
it
then.
all.
It's like, keep it pastels.
Okay.
It's just like, it was almost black. I had to pause it and double check.
It was very reminiscent of the Moschino when they were all doing that sort of like Martian housewife thing. I really, really liked it. But to be honest, the painted face thing, I do think they have to pick their spots of it on Drag Race because it's been quite a few times by different people. And obviously we've just seen it with Blair St. Clair and All Stars. But
I think that needs to be normalised though, because it's not just like a weird one-off thing. Like
that's
bitches
what I was
be
going
out
to
here
say.
doing it.
That's what I was going to say. This painted face thing I think is always done in reference to the Moschino look, which is this like Martian housewife, Stepford wife thing, very sort of like 60s bubble flip hair. But Sister, obviously ahead of the curve, ahead of her time, not serving you that at all. And I just love her. Honestly, I could go on about her for so long. But it's really, really starting to fuck me off how they never celebrate her. I don't get it.
Sometimes your faves have got to just coast safe and then just come out with the claws at the end.
And again, her face. So the light that she'd put on her face in her drag, she looked so soft and so.
She's gorgeous.
Sister, we love you. Then next up we had Veronica.
How many truffles?
Oh, I gave her 8.
Me too.
I nearly went 9, honestly. In fact, I'm going to give her 9. Fuck it. Rules are out the window. Then next up we have, no, it's not J-Lo in that fucking dress again. It's Veronica Green.
When I saw her sketch, I was like,
yes, bitch.
That looks gorgeous. Like sort of real like hourglass underneath,
Yeah.
but then like some sort of edging. And then I was just like, oh, are you like, that looked like a primary school project.
Absolutely.
It looked like when I was in Carnival as a mermaid at like age 4.
And subtle flux there.
Yeah, of course.
And I just thought, it was, and the fact that she was like, this is lined, I was like, probably should have wasted less time lining it and just making it nice.
I didn't actually check who did her wig because I didn't like it.
I really don't like it, Kath.
I actually think that Veronica Green does a lot of her own hair, I think, and that was it. It was very simple.
It was
I didn't notice it. It was just a bit whirligig for me.
Yeah, it reminded me of some like kind of like awkward sort of early 2000s when it was like very quiff heavy and people were just
very that.
new ways to wear the quiff. I found
The only way to wear it really is not.
Oh, just bug off!
it was a little bit boy body, reminiscent of Serena Chacha.
Oh, out. It was just, my first note is it was just all a bit off, everything about it. But
Yes, it was lined though.
Mind you. The face though, she was giving me Courtney in the face. I thought the way that her glam was done. I wish. Little turf bangs. No, I wish she was giving Gail Weathers glam. No, Courtney, which is maybe a bit boy body. She was giving Courtney act.
Yeah.
Something, and again, it's because they're both teeny tiny.
Actually, I feel like
twins.
I can see Courtney in like a weird kind of purple bikini with like a sarong type skirt.
Absolutely,
vibe.
absolutely.
So yeah,
sort of
very
like
that.
Again, like a bejeweled J-Lo knockoff.
Sure.
I gave, unfortunately, Veronica 5.
Snap.
And then next up, we have the fashion killer herself. It's Miss Tia.
Looking like a primary school production of Grease.
I put taste level on 0.
She really does know how to turn a bad situation into a chance for her to flex her comedy skills.
I was going to say what you want about Tia Tequila, but she always saves it with the narration. I thought that entire line when she was like, I am wearing an adequate dress. It is on my body.
Yeah.
I was like, yeah. I was like, it's basically fulfilling all the requirements of like clothing. Like it is there and it is on me.
Yeah.
The absolutely disastrous circle skirt, which was unlined, jagged. It first of all wasn't a circle skirt because it wasn't a circle. It was like some weird rara. Was really giving me the sort of very asexual geography girls at the Year 9 disco. So having you sort of like very underdeveloped rockabilly glam.
What's a geography girl? Is this like a whole subculture I've missed?
Yeah, well, of course. You're probably beating them up. Like the geography girls are the girls that really for me, excelling in geography is really the lowest common denominator.
Better than history.
No, history's sick. There's so many sick people in history. Like, what is there in geography?
Longshore drift,
rocks,
rainforest, icebergs. Agree to disagree.
Okay,
I'm a geography girl.
Truly, I always thought you were a horse bitch, but here we are.
Can't I still be both? But most of all,
I'm still a piece of garbage.
Don't you forget it.
I literally couldn't. So I actually gave Tia for this. Shout out to Miss Tia Maria. I gave you 4.
I gave her a 6. I thought it's not looking very. Do you know why though? It's because she sold it.
Why the fuck you lying? Why you always lying?
She really saved it with the narration, but I just thought that this ain't it. in any way, shape or form. There wasn't one redeeming feature for me. And Michelle was like, oh, I really like the wig. I was like, what?
I thought it was better than, my preferred of the two green looks.
More than Veronica Green?
Yeah, I really didn't like that. That was just like
But if she'd been
janky.
mute down the runway, this is a design challenge. If Tia had never spoken, would you still be? And the question does still remain.
She made more. She did more. She used more techniques, different styles.
Okay. But never forget, Veronica's, it was lined.
It was lined.
And then next up, we have Astina.
Do you know?
The double T.
Do you want to know what I wrote?
Astina, double T. Neither of them stand for taste.
I just wrote, absolutely not, 4.
It's a hard pass from Luki. My first thing that I put was that face was beaten the hell out of. That face was gorgeous.
I've seen that face now, though. I've seen it many
Wow.
times.
You're getting no passes from Luki, are you?
No.
Not this season. For a design challenge, the design was minimal. I thought
It was nice. It fitted her well.
It fitted. Yeah, it fitted her well. I just thought, like, you are on Drag Race and this is a design challenge on a runway in front of people.
And you're gassing yourself up so much and you don't even think you need to carry on.
I think realistically, there was probably maybe like 5 long stitches on the whole of that outfit. Like it was a circle skirt. So she would have had to cut out a circle and sew it. There's 1 stitch. And then for a bodysuit, maybe like 4 long stitches on that. Like how long would that have taken? That's what, like when she was like, oh, I feel like I'm done. I'm like, you are done in this competition. And then them being like, oh, you're serving legs. I was like, absolutely phenomenal body. But like, this is a design challenge. You can't be serving body in a design challenge. Like,
loved as well that Jordan, I feel like I have to say Jordan every time, was kind of like, oh my God, look at those legs. And then Astina was like, everyone just sees me as a body part. It's like, oh, really regretting that compliment now, aren't you?
But also as well, like, they're going to have to see you as a body part when like you're literally just wearing like dark blue leotard. Like,
yeah. And if that's as like anime as you can go, like,
I really need to drum this point in, especially when she came down the runway and you could see that like the braiding hair was like not actually even attached to her hair properly.
No, just like kind of balanced with a scrunchie.
Yeah, it was just like that was a crazy choice for me. That was I was actually in shock. Like you would at least I would at least plait it, because braiding hair it's not hair. It doesn't like, it's just strands of plastic, and not in the way that like a synthetic wig is. It's like, it's not meant, it bunches up as you see in the lip sync later. It mats, it bunches up. It doesn't like flow through the air properly. Like, so you would at least just plait it and have 2
it's like lighter
bunches.
than air, isn't
Yeah. It's just like,
I can't believe no one called
you can't
her out
comb
on that.
it. You can't comb braiding hair. It was disappointing.
It was. So, 4 truffles from me. What did you say?
4?
Yeah.
Wow, you are going in. I did 6. Which I'm now going to move down to 5.
Now you see my look at you.
Now that we've spoken about it, I'm like, if there was 5 stitches on the outfit, you can have 5 truffles. And then next up, we have Her Royal Highness Bimini Bon Boulash. Bimini Bon Boulash. My first thing that I put is like, Astina, you really went on the runway and said, I'm sorry, Bimini, but I wore it better, having seen what Bimini came out with.
Yeah.
I mean,
Now, Mr. Reference, you might be able to help me here.
Yes.
This was really, really reminded me of something. My guess was kind of like 2000s Galliano.
Galliano by Dior, that was it.
Yeah,
was it?
and Pat McGrath.
Well,
the
Pat
kind of
McGrath
like
makeup.
20s, 30s hair and makeup.
Yeah, absolutely. There's like a really there's a Pat reference that goes around all the time. That's of that, like it's one of 2 things. She did a spread for Italian Vogue that has like Lily Donaldson. I think it has Cara Delevingne in, and it's like Belle Epoque 1930s that she did with Guido, with the legendary Guido, and it's
The legendary Guido, that Paulie D.
and it's very much serving that. But also there's like from the Galliano shows, that was like that sort of like really worn in, like dark rusty eye and stuff. That
Yeah,
was,
with the little
that,
mouth.
And that sort of like teased out, very, very frizzy wig. Gorgeous. But yeah, it's definitely Galliano for Dior.
Yeah. Very
I'm
into
just
that.
want to straight up say that I gave this a 9.
Dark Mistress.
Conceptual, it was dark, it was glamorous, not here for Jordan saying Lace Kelly. That ran through me.
I gave it a 7. I just thought, just because I...
Explain yourself.
I just didn't really like it that much. But I liked I liked seeing a different side of Bimini, like a lot more of a sort of dark boudoir mistress rather than a kind of like pink stripper, which I
Yeah.
do love, but
No.
maybe that's why.
It's nice to see her so nuanced. Next up, we have Ms. Ellie Diamond. I put that there's lots of detail in this. I thought that like it was a bit, you know, Coco Chanel said, look in the mirror, take one thing off. I'd have liked 14 things to be taken off. Like there was a lot going on, but I would always rather there was much more detail than coming out like Astina.
For sure.
Like you could see that a lot of work had gone into a lot of areas of the outfit. And there was like real design to it.
I was very much a fan of the gusset ruffles.
Yes, you love a gusset ruffle, don't you? I would have personally gone for a completely different colour hair. I didn't really like the sort of like muted brown. I didn't like the colour of the hair.
I can't really remember it, so it can't have been.
Yeah, it was just very muted, sort of natural girl hair. And I thought if it's gold, I would have either loved to see like a very, again, Galliano for Dior, like sprayed gold hair. Because she was having that sort of like French Revolution, Marie Antoinette, like big hair with the side rolls and stuff.
To be debated.
Why TBD?
Because I didn't think that. I literally thought she looks like a pirate pantomime, and then that's what they both said. Yeah.
Well, that was the reference, regardless of how well she executed that. That was what she was going for. Did she let them eat cake? I don't. They had crumbs. But I did put that there was lots of detail, but too much detail. I gave her a 7.
I gave her a 6.
Okay. And then next up, we have her Scottish sister herself, Miss Lawrence Cheney.
This was very controversial for some of our friends, this whole thing.
Wasn't it? On the group chat, it was popping the fuck off.
Although,
Let me tell you, can I just say there is no unwarranted opinion rather than a straight girl that has never even looked at a sewing machine telling you about the construction of a garment, as our group chat proves.
I think it's all about me then. It's like, how dare you? I have a child's sewing machine from John Lewis at home.
We both know our way around to an electronic noodle.
When he turned the corner, I just was kind of like, finally, no, there is a well-made outfit and a well-thought-out outfit. I thought she looked like a kind of 40s jazz singer. Like it wasn't like
40s jazz singer.
I think that's what I'm thinking of in Archer. One of the people dresses like that.
Sure.
But yeah, I just thought like it's not for me. It's not OTT, but it just looks like that's an actual garment with an actual like point of reference.
My first note was if a mother of the bride at a gypsy wedding in Latvia fucked Darien Lake.
Like what? Bit confusing. We'll never understand that.
There was something about when Darien Lake came in that sort of like weird silver thing with the big shoulders.
Yeah.
And they were like, that is mother of the bride. Like,
yeah.
But then it also had sort of like a very like Eastern European...
with the gold.
Yeah. And I put that it was ugly, but well constructed.
Sure. I could put my hand on the Bible and say...
Wouldn't you burn?
I'd swear to the court that those hips have told no lies in their entire life. They were swanging like a fucking grandfather clock.
I'm glad someone gave a Mae West reference as well, because she wants to come up and fuck you in the ass sometimes.
I've got PTSD from penetration.
I loved the I don't just have a gold finger, I have a gold fist. I was like, fisting talk on the BBC? Yes.
Just got to assume they don't understand.
Yeah, absolutely. They're like, oh, he's got five times the amount of gold fingers. That's the shit I do like though. We need more fisting talk on the BBC.
Combianda truffle.
I put 7.
I did 7.5.
7.5. You love a half number, didn't you?
I'm on the fence. I can't. 8 seems too much.
That's 75%. The only one that I was a bit on the fence about is like I equally hated Veronica Green and Tia Coffee's. Like I think they were both.
It was a bad day for the Greens, wasn't it?
Yeah. It was really just not hitting on any scale really.
And the winner is announced to be Lawrence. At this point, I was just like, whatever. Like, I disagree with you every week. I'm just going to take it on the chin now, like a good girl in a toilet.
Rue just don't give a fuck. He's like, I love Lawrence Cheney. Get into it or like get out.
Yeah,
like,
literally.
But I did think that when he was like, thank you so much, it seemed so humble and from the heart. Do you not think that like Lawrence is like, thank you so much. Like, it means so much.
Do you know what? I couldn't picture it, but now you've just put that twang on. Like, it's like I'm rewatching it
It's like he's
again.
in the room. The spirit of the big LC.
I thought Sister or Taste had my favourite look if I was to choose a winner.
Yeah, I would say definitely my favourite was Sister, 100%. And it was last week as well. So I thought Taste was literally only in the bottom because they thought the construction of the horrors was good. Like, I really thought that like if Taste had been against anyone else, she would have won. Like, she wasn't really in the bottom.
Yeah, and maybe the wig thing came into it as
well. And when they came up to Ginny, like, I just thought she looked so vulnerable and delicate and so like, she looked almost angelic in that crazy lame mental outfit.
I really liked her kind of almost like a halo eye, but with no top, just kind of like pink on the left and right.
What about when Michelle to Tia was like, oh, I really don't want you to look cheap, saying that while sitting there in like a leopard print spandex dress?
How dare you? Leopard print is the highest.
Serving you Tia Coffee's opening look. The spiel that she gave to RuPaul though and to Michelle, like it just saved her. Like I'm 100% sure that is why they kept her. Spoiler, they keep her. Ru is obsessed with mentioning that Tia Coffee is sample size. It's mentioned 3 times. Like, she's got the same body as you, Jordan. It's like...
who was it whose nose she was obsessed with? She like sort of mentioned it every week. Like, oh, your nose is looking great. I mean, like maybe like a couple of seasons
Probably
ago.
not Magnolia Crawford.
Probably
Shout out
not.
to the swordfish. But what I did notice is when they zoomed in on Tia Coffee, her eyebrows are fucking mental. Like she literally has like, you know, like when people dye their eyebrows and they just put like the wet dye on and they've just got like a shape, like a big thick brown slug of dye. It looks like that. Astina was really ice cold when they were speaking to her. I thought they was like, she's really not like giving much, but I knew I could feel that she was going to break because they mentioned disappointment like 3 times with her. And I thought that you can't, when Ru finally said it, he was like, that's what's so disappointing. I was like, that's going to cut through anyone. Like,
yeah, that's a knife in the heart.
But when she was like, because I know like you've got what it takes. So she was like speaking about herself and like the 5th person giving herself like a pep talk. She was like, because you've got what it takes, so let's see it. I was like, are you standing outside of yourself, gearing yourself up? Like, I didn't really get that.
I just find it weird how RuPaul's either trying to make everybody a lot more sexual, or if failing that, just make them fucking cry.
Yeah, there was a lot of tears on the main stage.
Tears on the runway.
I know, and as you said, there was no crying in the discotheque.
No,
like save the drama for your mama. Like them tears are for your pillow, not for the main stage. And then when we zoom back to Untucked, I really felt like Ahura was showing us vulnerability. She seemed just like genuine. She did metamorphosize back into just being the bitch that we know and love, but she just seemed like just like generally like really very vulnerable. That she was like, I feel like she maybe doesn't have confidence in the other elements of drag, and she was like, this was the one thing that I thought I was going to excel at.
I just thought, why can't Lawrence be a gracious winner? Like, obviously, if you're the front runner for a particular challenge or week and everyone's telling you you're going to win and then you don't win, like, you're going to feel shit. You don't need the winner to then be like, oh, like, weren't you meant to win this?
Wow. Also, I love that they're just like, oh, Ahura's so harsh. It's like, it's just her opinion. I'm completely with Ahura. It's like, Cherry Valentine has gone. Joe Black has gone. Like, he doesn't see a star in Tia Coffee. And she's like, I want her to, like, I'd like her to go because people that I feel are better than her have left. Like, it is harsh to hear, but it is just her opinion. The sort of like Veronica Green, like positioning as being like, no, that's not true. It's like, if she believes it, it is true.
I thought she was saying like, that's not fair rather than it's not
She was
true.
like, you're saying that she doesn't deserve to be here. It's like, I don't think that compared to the others, she deserves to be here. Like, that is just my opinion.
Yes, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah. I love that every single queen, when Tia got very emotional, she's just like, oh, I'm just getting in my own way. It's like, you're in a competition. Like, who else would be getting in your way? Like,
at this point, I would just like...
It just means nothing.
Yeah, Tia can just gracefully bow out of the competition and just stay on as a commentator. That's what I would like.
Absolutely. Sort of just like match of the day. Oh, am I?
Excuse me?
So I grew up in a house of men. Just like... just like her sat there with a mic, just like sort of like commenting on just like what's going on. Just
like roving reporter.
Yeah, absolutely. I've put also Bimini, I'm in love with you. Why are you so kind? Like, just like, again, like her and Sister are 2 queens that I'm coming away just being like, oh, I need to be mates with you. Just like, Bimini just seems so kind and lovely this whole episode. Just like a real queen for the people.
Maybe she'll do some yoga classes when she gets out if she's not too busy being a world famous.
Sensation.
Yeah.
But yeah, when Astina was like, you should be frightened, I did think for the girl Tia, I was like, yeah, you should be.
She looked it as well. ...
We'll find out. Let's head to the main stage and find out whether she should be scared. Did you notice that she said, bring back my ghettos in reference to space ghettos?
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely fine. Hilarious.
I thought Jordan had a very good point in that with Astina's outfit, it just didn't tell you anything about her. And I thought that was like, that's the nail on the head. Like, it's just like, bland,
could be anyone.
Nothing. What is this?
It was literally like it could have been a Wimbledon outfit. I also think as well, like, even though it was the fashion equivalent of a steaming pile of dog shit, I thought that Ginny did take a risk. because she doesn't wear anything not that it was particularly form-fitting, but she doesn't wear anything that is
the body?
She doesn't wear anything that is feminine like that. And for her, going down that runway, she did take a risk, even though the execution was obviously piss poor. I feel like there was no risk taken in what Astina wore. Like she was just,
I don't think a risk was part of the challenge.
I know, but like Ginny was like at least stepping outside of herself. I'm sure she could have made a lovely 60s smock. Could have worn a kaftan down the runway as is more the silhouette that we're more used to with Ginny. But like she at least did step outside of herself and take the challenge that Rue was like, I'd like to see you sexy. And that was her version of sexy.
And now Rue's given her the follow-up challenge. She wants her to create a personality for this new character.
100%. So when Astina, how did you feel when she was like, if you want a lip sync, I'll give you a lip sync? Did you feel like empty words, was that served for you?
I felt like, well, fucking come on then, please, madame. And I'm still
never
waiting,
happened.
TBH.
Do you know what my main gripe with this lip sync was? Is that Astina just, when she performs, I've got 2 gripes actually. I'll start with my first one.
Numero uno.
She doesn't seem like she's having fun.
No.
There's no sense of joy in it, I don't feel. And then the second one, this is a common thing that you've heard me complain about this before. When you have fantastic dancers, there is a certain way that dancers perform when they lip sync that sometimes they don't fully engage with the audience. And there was a lot of looking down that Astina did. And like, as soon as you break the eye contact with the audience, you break like the connection. And there was just like, I didn't really feel like a lot of the time the energy was out towards the audience. It was like down or to the side, which is just a lot harder to read and get like an emotional connection with the queen, I think.
Yeah. I find a lot of the time as well when they're like a trained dancer, it's like, yeah, they're not trying to engage with the judges and do a fun performance. They're like, let me show all these specific technical things I can do. It's like, we don't give a shit. Like, we just want you to be having a good time and
because we are not entertained.
Yeah, so
I was so distracted by the hair as well. Like 11 seconds in, it was like matting into just like balls of plastic. Every time she moved and stuff, it was just like, it was getting tangled and I was just like, this is a nightmare. And I was worrying that it was going to fall out. I was like, this is not the look. Like, you should never be, I always think with the lip syncs, like, you should never be distracted by anything.
Yeah.
Costume wise, hair wise, makeup wise, like, and what's so funny about this is like, Tia didn't do great. She didn't like serve up a lip sync that was like really challenged how good a performer Astina was. It was just like, Astina just did a little bit worse than her, but like I didn't think Tia was good really at all. But
no, the thing that sung it for Tia is that she was having a good time, and if you're having a good time, then everyone else is having a good time.
She really gave drama as well, didn't she?
The first 2 lip syncs were both so like exciting, and then it seemed
Absolutely.
a bit just disappointing. This one,
but everyone seems super gooped that Tia was staying. I think again, like maybe from the back, like I just obviously Astina like has really she holds a lot of confidence within herself. And you believe that, like you believe that she's meant to be there, and I really like Astina. And I also thought as well, like we mentioned, having seen her, that I was like, she's going to kill it. And yeah, I was really disappointed.
But I don't think with this season particularly, it is any like bad representation on you going out early, because
Not
like
at all.
this is it's just like you were in it, you were part of it, you're one of the gals.
I saw on that Joe Black is already doing a solo show, and that will sell out. Like so many people are hungry for what Joe Black was going to bring, that like he can now in September be doing a solo show around the UK because he is a star.
Yeah.
And yeah, I think that just everyone, like there's no reflection badly on anyone to be leaving at any time.
And luckily for Tia, I think she'll probably be on season 3 due to what must be 2 shattered kneecaps from what she did.
The drop.
The Eureka swang.
Yeah, hopefully she'll get invited back after she's wheeled off in a wheelchair.
So the winner of the lip sync is Tia Coffee.
By a stretch.
The faces on everyone.
The gaggery, the goopery. Oh, I mean, I was shocked too. I was I stand by it. I do think that Tia did better than Astina.
Yeah, I was like rooting for her by the end. I was like, if she doesn't win, then this is fucking madness.
But I was shocked. I think the shock just came from that Astina didn't go hard.
Yeah.
And it was.
Well, maybe she did, but just like with her.
The wrong hard. Is there ever a wrong hard?
Yes, there is.
Every boner is a blessing.
I didn't like when she said to Tia, like, well done, I'm proud of you. I thought, Hang on, you've just lost. She's just beat you. Well, you don't need to be condescending to her.
Yeah, there was a little element of that, wasn't there? Just sort of like a star thinks that you did really well.
Yeah, but gotta say, left how she came in. Rude.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic. Best leaving sentence so far. And yeah, just I am sad to see her go but luckily we live in London and we get to see her perform 100 million times. And
see you soon, bitch.
I think also as well, like she did herself absolutely no harm on the show. Like she came in, she was gorgeous, and I think she will just go up and up and up from her performance on the show.
Yeah, I hope so.
So let's talk season 3 Dreamcast. Let me just say a very quick addendum that like this is our Dreamcast. Like a lot of the people that we mentioned probably have no interest of ever going on Drag Race, and this is just our selfish Dreamcast of like we'd love to see just more of these gorgeous drag artists rather than
I want them to be world famous.
Yeah, rather than them thinking that Drag Race would elevate their career in any way. Who is your season 3 Dreamcast?
My season 3 Dreamcast this week would be Barb's.
Oh,
you can find her on Insta, barbs.co.uk, I believe. And she's just hilarious and gorge. And I say no more, really. Go check her out.
Absolutely. I'm 100% back that.
She's Bimini's roommate as well. So if you follow Bimini, you might see footage of her nude from time to time, which is always nice.
Good. For me, in honour of all the gender non-conforming excellence that we have seen this week, my Dreamcast is the fantastic Charity Case.
Love Charity Case.
Oh, I know. Now, their shape-shifting drag really defines any constraints whatsoever. It's often got sort of like a horror element to it. If you don't follow, you need to go to @CharityCase. I refuse to believe that if you're listening to this podcast and you found us on the internet that you have not come across.
It's Case with a K, right?
Case with a K. Charity, Kase. And they've just had their Vogue Extreme Beauty.
I saw on Insta.
Which I'm yet to see, but I'm so excited. That is the first thing I'm going to watch after we do this. Yeah, absolutely killer. And they've also just finished 200 Days of Daily Drag, where they have turned out an exceptional conceptual drag look every single day for the past 200 days. And they are phenomenal. So please go check them out.
They'd be great in Dragula.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, maybe we'll be doing Dragula.
Dragula. Yes, watch this space.
Watch the space for us screaming over Dragula as well.
Now, Barney.
Yes.
May I ask you your rose and thorn of the week?
Oh, I wish you would. Okay, so my rose, this is probably very obvious to you, but after being so up in arms about the BBC possibly cutting out Bimini talking about their non-binary identity, it was just this moment. I thought this is just like, I'm going to be talking about this in 5 years down the line. Like this was a landmark historic moment for two non-binary people to be talking about their experience and not have fucking Piers Morgan shouting over them saying, I don't think you should have access to your jobs or healthcare. Like I just thought it was just fucking gorgeous. What was your rose?
Well, on the flippant side, mine was Limbo. Bloody loved it, didn't I?
Highbrow, lowbrow. What about your thorn of the week?
Ugh, the bloody lip sync song. I get it. People seem to like Dua Lipa. But it's like, her songs are not for drag queens to perform in. It's the third time. Do I need to remind you of Gothy Kendall and Vinegar Strokes doing it? Simone managed to do it the other week because she's just Simone and amazing.
Listen, the girls...
But no one is really shining to Dua Lipa songs.
The girls love Dua Peep. Get into it.
She ain't right for a lip sync.
She is. Tell you what she is right for. A lovely Boohoo advert, though.
Exactly. Yeah. Thank you. That's where she belongs. That's how I see her.
My thorn of the week was, and this is going to start to pick up some heat from me.
I feel it.
Sister, stop just letting her looks skate under the radar. Like, she is a star. If I'm saying this next week, she is a star. If I'm saying this next week, shit is going to hit the fan because I'm getting pressed. Like, we need to start worshipping at the altar of sister because I can't have her not getting her flowers like this.
We just start sending hate mail to RuPaul.
Yeah.
Shit in the post.
We'll go down to Pinewood ourselves.
I love we just accepted it's at Pinewood.
Yeah. Now we need to talk about one last thing that we're introducing.
One more feature of Top and Bottom.
Top and Bottom. This is called the Zinger and the Minger of the week, and we're talking wigs. As Truffle Pig Wigs, we feel like we are allowed to, for some reason, comment on people's wigs. And we're going to give the one zinger and the one minger of the week. I'm going to start with my zinger, and my zinger was the construction of Ellie's runway wig. I just really love the Rococo sort of like big wig. I just loved it. But like I did say, I would like it in a different colour. It would have been gorgeous in like a pastel, even like a pastel yellow or something. Like just, but that was my top. That was my top wig, and also a legendary shout out as well to actual like RuPaul's wig because the texture of that was gorgeous.
I loved how Ru looked this week. My wig zinger was Lawrence Chaney's Platinum Blonde updo.
Oh yeah, that is very you actually. I'm not really an updo queen myself, but that was again like, it was giving you real sort of like mother of the bride.
Yeah, it just was nicely styled, I thought.
Lawrence Chaney did the wig herself, the updo.
There you go.
She often does do the hair herself, which I like. And what was your minger of the week?
Do I need to say?
I have an idea who it might be, but you say it.
Astina Mandela.
I mean,
and her bargain bin.
To even call it a wig is such a. I mean, that was mine as well, but to even call it a wig is a stretch. Like that was not a wig. It was just elements of what could be a wig with some time and effort.
Yeah.
And I feel like there was another worse wig that
Veronica's I didn't care for.
You didn't care for Veronica.
But I didn't really want to say that in case
it was one of our fellow stylists.
Yeah, but I think if you said VG does a lot of her own wigs, then I think she can take that on the chin.
Take it on the chin, honey.
I've got one more thing to add.
Please.
Just very excited by Gottmik and Simone from season 13.
Oh, imagine if we were doing both seasons back to back.
I literally couldn't. We don't have a day off as it is at the moment, so we'd have to start getting in extra days.
But shout out to the Truffle Pig Wig customers who are keeping us literally 7 days a week so busy that we are going to scream and cry. I think that is wrapping up of episode 3. So we will see you next week for episode 4, a very exciting Morning Glory chat show. Love the chat shows, so I'm very excited about that.
Once again, if you have anything to say or you want to discuss what we've discussed or just a little shout out.
Yeah, just get a shout out.
Just send us a message through Insta or anything. Hit us up and we will shout you out. We love ya. We love Drag Race. We like each other sometimes. And we're out.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace.